Experience a progressive lens engineered with AI from Essilor, powered by individual measurements of your visual behavior. A lens personalized to you by an Essilor expert. Discover Verilux XR Track and enjoy instantly sharp vision in motion and seamless transitions from near to far. Find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com.
Hello and welcome to Lifetime in Court, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, grab a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
And I am Sara Carranza.
Yeah.
Can I change my name to Current?
Yes, of course.
You could try.
Yes.
You know, it's so nice to see you guys. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know.
Since the last episode.
We are back again doing another Christmas movie. Another Lifetime Christmas movie because we're called Lifetime in Court. We're not called Hallmark in Court.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're
we
not.
do have Hallmark ones coming.
There are some.
It'll be for Hallmark Untapped.
Right.
That's where we drink beer.
Oh, wow.
And
I can't do that. Too much bubbles.
Too much hops. I'm allergic to it, I guess.
Oh, you are?
I think so.
What?
Aww.
I think that whenever I drink, even if I drink
It might be
beer,
the gluten.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I have plenty of gluten all the time, always, and I'm fine.
Right.
I think it's hot. That's what I was trying, because I'm like, I'm not allergic to alcohol. Definitely not allergic to alcohol. The only thing I can think of is that it's the hops.
There you go.
Because every time I drink one beer, just one beer, I will have a horrible headache in the morning. I'll have a bad time the next day. Just one beer. I could have a ton of vodkas.
How about cider?
Cider's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Good.
So you're saying
Hallmark unsidered.
my beer advent calendar last year killed you?
It did. I died.
I really bought him a beer advent calendar last year.
I saw that on Insta.
Actually, you know what? That's when
you realized.
I realized it because I was like, I've been drinking.
So you saved his life.
Pretty much.
You saved my life and killed me. Also killed me. I died.
Just for 1 month. Yeah. Kind of like everyone listening to this Advent podcast calendar.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Not sorry, though.
No. Okay, today we are talking about a sweet Christmas romance.
Oh, what?
I know. It's
so sweet.
It stars Loretta Devine.
Oh.
Adelaide Kane.
Adelaide.
Kane.
She's from Rain, so excuse me if I call her Mary Queen of Scots and start talking in a brogue.
I thought you meant rain, like, let the rain fall down.
And if my dreams...
Also stars Greyston Holt.
Is that the blonde guy?
Holt, yeah.
Greyston Holt.
He was cute, I think.
Yeah, he was in a Canadian werewolf TV show that I enjoyed for a bit.
Yeah?
Yes, he is cute. Ooh,
werewolves are sexy.
I see, with the long hair. Bitten.
Mm-hmm.
Bitten.
Wow. Yeah. He could bite my sandwich.
He could
Okay.
That's the most disgusting thing you've ever said.
He can bite your figgy pudding.
That's the most disgusting thing you've ever said.
Drew, it's a sweet Christmas romance, okay? Just bite my sandwich.
Bite my sandwich. Bite my sandwich.
What a weird phrase I've made.
I drink your milkshake. You bite my sandwich.
Right. Instead of my milkshake, bring all the boys to the yard. It's my sandwich.
My sandwich does that instead. Okay. Yeah.
Great. So, jumping into the movie, we have a food stylist. Now, I meant to do research, but, I have no time because I'm doing these so fast. No. Food stylist is a real job, and I am obsessed. I love food styling.
It's cool as hell. It's
did you have to watch a documentary in middle school about food stylists?
I didn't.
That's a thing?
At all. No, I didn't at all.
Because they use, instead of, for ice cream, they use, styrofoam balls and then, color it to look like ice cream.
That's cheating.
Or they put mashed potatoes potatoes on the top and then color the mashed potatoes to look like ice cream. And you're like, what the hell? It's none of it's edible.
No, not at all. No,
it's horrible. Don't tease me like that.
No,
but that's how
that's why it looks good.
Anything you see in the pictures of you go into a Wendy's or something. We're not sponsored by Wendy's.
No.
That's just an example.
Are you telling me that Baconator is not true?
No, Baconators are real.
But
however,
they don't look like the
picture of the Baconator that they show is all fake.
Totally fake. The bread is fake. They put like it's like a little like foam thing that they spray paint.
I mean,
I've
bread
had to
might
make
be
fake food
real
for theater before, but like
yeah, it's the same kind of shit.
Same idea.
But you do it like you have to because you got to make the bread. You got to make the brioche shine and
Yeah, I gotta get it glistening.
and you got to put the sesame seeds on the bun in certain areas. And
I was
stuff.
today years old when I found out advertisements were fake.
You were 8.
It's fascinating.
That's a good age to realize that.
Right? So she's a food stylist.
I was 20, so.
And even in the movie, though, Sarah, like you should have seen, like she was like spray painting stuff.
I did not put 2 and 2 together. Thank you, Patrick.
You saw her like spraying. That was like spray paint.
Well, I do have to admit that I'm sorry, listeners. I know you don't approve of this, but because I was flying back from London, I missed this airing, and so I had to watch it on YouTube. And
it was the scary editing one.
So this is actually the first time my husband ever watched a Lifetime movie with me.
Oh no! And he's
because it reminded him of YouTube poop. So the entire time he was just watching these super zooms and making disgusting sounds along with it because it reminded him of YouTube poop.
YouTube poop.
What's that?
What the fuck is YouTube poop?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
there's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. You can deep dive it onto it on YouTube, and essentially people take like actual videos, re-edit them, especially like with like if they're eating, they'll zoom in extra close to the mouth because they think it's funny, and then they'll add like scary sounds or whatever just to like redo the entire film. So I was watching Lifetime poop.
YouTube poop.
That's how they get around the copyright, though,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Okay, wow, because you're taking creative license.
Yes, but YouTube poop is for fun, for
Yeah.
people's humor that I don't get.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
our protagonist, her name's Holly, and she is making this turkey look so delicious.
Yeah.
And she is up for a job at Urban Gourmet. I think she's from New York.
Yeah, she's living in New York.
She lives in New York, but she has a hometown in Maine, and she has a favorite bakery in town. She's no way affiliated with the bakery, by the way.
Anymore.
She like worked there in high school.
Okay.
But
She's like, I want to work on fake shit.
It's not like a family. It's not like a family bakery or something, which is usually how these movies go.
No, it was a family bakery. It just wasn't her family.
That's what
bakery.
I mean. That's what I mean.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
I'm sorry, I'm supposed to yes, yes. It was.
and she goes to visit her mother, but who cares about the mother? It doesn't matter. It's all about the bakery.
Okay.
For this woman. And the bakery is celebrating 12 years of Christmas, or 12
12 years of Christmas.
12 days of Christmas
Christmas.
with a treat every day.
Great.
They do like a gingerbread one day and I don't know, other
fucking
cookies, a
Santa-
snickerdoodle, and then a sugar cookie
All
or
the
whatever.
things. Just anything you can say it's Christmas.
Yes.
It's a Christmas
and
cookie.
this is the last year that the bakery will be doing this because they're going to either sell the bakery to someone else or
burn it down.
Or they're going to sell the building to be something else.
Sure.
Like condos or something.
Right.
Right, because the mom, the mom baker, fell in love with someone on her Alaskan tour, and now she's moving to Alaska.
Cool.
Yes, and that is played by Loretta Devine.
Okay, great.
And what I like about that is that Loretta Devine is not just an old woman just retiring and just going to be an old woman in a shoe. She is like moving to Alaska to be with a man that she's fallen in love with.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome, and it is rare in these movies.
Really?
that
Even on
happens.
Lifetime? I thought Lifetime was woke.
They're a little bit more, but this was like, I was like, whoa, she gets a love story?
I think it's
And she's over 40?
what I think it's like. That sounds to me like it's like it's not even like a woke thing. It's more just like, hey, we can add this like little
It's a
layer
good
of
character development.
Well, yeah, because women can do more than retire after 50.
Right. And a lot of them just like, they're just moving. I don't know. Who cares? Like when they're like, even when they're writing it out without being like, they're not being unwoke. They're just being like, we don't have time for this shit. We got to film this. We got to film this in like 12 days. I'm like fucking okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Holly gets to the bakery. She's like, I'll take one of these. She gets all these cookies. And then she's on her way out the door and she bumps into a handsome stranger and all her cookies fall on the floor. Oh,
She tossed her cookies.
She tossed her cookies.
Toast her cookies. Oopsies.
But he's like, I will
Oopsie-daisy.
replace these. I'm so sorry. And they're like very, very popular cookies. So like, oh, luckily we have enough to replace your order, but don't let it happen again.
But let's not.
Do not let it happen.
But you
again.
do have to pay for the extra ones too.
Oh, they do. They made her
They-
pay for the original batch that she got and for the replacement batch. And I'm like, this is why
Good.
they're a good business.
Good.
Because they aren't
I don't
fucking
remember
around.
that. I would have remembered that.
Well, because I thought it was
Wow.
weird that they made her pay because she used to work there. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, you used to work here. You get some free cookies. No big deal.
No.
But yeah, I guess that's bad business.
I blame the YouTube poop.
There you go. I know you're gonna learn so many new things in this movie from your weird editing.
I saw a lot of eyeballs.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Holly goes and sees her family next after going to the bakery because her family doesn't matter to her. And she like basically is very rude to her mom. And she's like, you're a terrible baker and you're just a terrible person and I hate you.
Holly said that?
Yeah.
Pretty much. But then the mom was like right back at you.
Yeah.
Right
She's
back
like,
at
you
you,
can't
you
bake
fucking
either,
bitch."
you dumb idiot. And they're like, ha ha ha, family.
Our family say we hate each other. Yeah.
It was a little weird. Like the family dynamic. Was
I loved it because that's, well, first of all, that's kind of my family experience too. You know,
Sure.
like I start singing a pop song and my mom's like, Sarah, it's not Christmas. You know, so
Oh,
like,
it's like what you're singing is not Christmas.
well, no, because she says that the way I sing it sounds so bad that it sounds like it's a Christmas song instead of it actually being like, I don't know.
Oh.
Or she's like, who sings that? And you're like, Christina Aguilera. She's like, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep it that way.
That used to be my favorite joke when I was a kid. And people would be saying, I'm like, oh, who sings that? Or like, let's keep it that way.
I think you might have said that to me once. too.
Probably. I mean, that is like always in my back pocket.
That's great.
That is a good one.
And listeners, you can use that.
Yeah.
Please use
So
it.
the mom was basically like, so who's supposed to be baking? Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, totally. So Loretta Devine is, she has a son, okay? And I don't remember what the son's name is.
Carson?
Carson. Probably Carson.
There's a Carson Rose.
That's
yeah,
it.
that's him.
Okay.
He wants to sell the bakery.
Because no one can bake like mama.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she like makes him like this special bread every year, and he like loves his mom's baking, but he doesn't want anyone to take over the store.
Yeah. I'm a physicist.
Yeah.
I'm an astrophysicist. I can't bake.
But he makes an agreement with Loretta Devine. He's like, okay, we'll have a contest. If someone can trick me and bake as good as you, and I think it's your cooking, we'll keep it. If no one can, we're selling.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know.
That's a cool little thing.
And
I like that.
And whoever bakes the best, the thing that tricks him, will inherit the bakery.
Oh.
So no money, I
inherit.
think, right?
No money. They just inherit the bakery and all the recipes and everything, and they keep running it.
What does he get out of this?
He gets to keep eating cookies.
That tastes like his mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his mom's going to be in Alaska. She can't
It's
make
like,
him
that's
the
all I give a
food.
fuck about. I'm Carson Rose.
Right. And Loretta Devine's like, I'm done with this bakery, so do whatever you want. But
Do whatever the
like,
fuck you want, dude.
I found love.
I found love.
I'm going to Alaska.
And
dog.
actually, the idea for the contest is her boyfriends, who we don't actually really see
Yet.
ever.
We do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in the YouTube poop version that you see him. But
He survived Storm Megan.
In Alaska.
Another Storm Megan. Here we go.
It got all the way to Alaska?
So the
Apocalypse!
handsome
This
man.
is all going into... This
Right?
is all like part of this huge apocalyptic winter storm thing.
yes.
And you
universe
just find out Lifetime has been like
Build-
DC or like multiversing this.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've been like Marvel cinematic universe. And
Okay.
Shit.
The handsome man, his name's Brad. He turns out to be the pastry chef at a frou-frou fancy
Can you
restaurant.
get any whiter than being
Brad?
tall, blonde, and named a Brad?
No. No, it's impossible.
Well,
It's actually impossible to get whiter than that.
Oh yeah, he's from Florida.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah, so he's tan. Anyways, so he
wait, where are they?
they're
again?
in Maine.
Maine. Okay. That's right.
But Holly doesn't want him to take over the bakery because he is like too snobby, and he'll probably just make croissants all the time.
Stupid croissant.
Because he works at that like French thing that converted their hometown inn.
Yeah,
fancy.
So the hometown inn became
delicious French.
She's like, I don't want him to
pastry.
make me flambés and soufflés.
Ew.
I don't want that.
I want sugar cookies.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that froggy, Frenchy cooking.
Right? So she decides to enter the contest too, even though she can't bake.
Oh, yeah, no, she can make it.
And she
look good,
practiced baking at her house, and she like puts salt instead of sugar or something, and it's bad. All her family again is very rude, and they're like spitting out the cookie like
They're
on the
not
floor.
rude. They're just honest.
I mean, it was.
That's just odd. If you,
I've
mix
never
those
seen
two.
this in a TV Christmas movie. The family literally would take a bite and then just be like, "Bleh, "What the fuck was that, Holly?"
And please just know, I watched this YouTube poop version, so they would zoom into them throwing it out.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, it's not even like in a napkin. They're just like, "Bleh," the cookie crumbles are just falling out of their mouths. It's like, what the hell is going on? This family.
That's great.
But they're like, we'll support you in whatever you decide to do. So that was nice, I guess. They're setting her up for failure, and they can't wait to laugh at her.
Yeah.
Is what's happening here. So the contest begins. It's very, very British Bake Off.
I was going to say that. That's one of my favorite shows.
I know, but it was like
Yeah.
an SNL spoof of British Bake
Yes,
Off. Like
yes, it
that
was.
level of detail.
Yes, it
Like
was.
they were in a tent.
There was a Hollywood handshake.
Yes, there was.
Oh,
they were
God.
like zooming in on the
Okay.
cookies, and they do the three people in the panel like taking
Or the,
bites, and
the pictures turned around and like,
Yes.
please come up when your cookie's called. Or like,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
it was to the letter, including like the little music underneath too. It felt very much.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and
Go for that.
I loved it, and then I was like, oh wait, am I going to be getting a soothing baking movie? I really needed this at this point in my life, and I'm so happy that it's not like a romance cheesy. It's just going to be like people baking and competing.
oh,
Yeah.
Patrick.
You know,
Yeah.
I thought this wasn't your first rodeo.
you know. You guys, I get easily tricked. Oh, they also had aprons, which I just got to say.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very much Great British Bake Off. So. They decide that they're doing 6 cookies instead of 12 because this is only a 2-hour movie and they don't have enough time to really do the 12. They will be graded on.
They could make the time.
They could.
They did not.
They will be graded on taste, presentation,
Yep.
and magic.
Oh.
I think one of my favorite parts of the movie
Magic.
is actually one of the contestants is like, can you explain magic? And then she's like, oh, honey, if I have to explain that to you. And then I don't know the rest of the sentence because
Right.
I had it cut off.
Then just leave now.
Then fuck you.
Yeah, and she takes her chair and drags it away.
And punches her in the face.
Exactly. Actually, speaking of Loretta Devine, I brought a clip just so you can get her vibe in the movie, because you know who she is, right, Drew?
Yeah, I do.
Do you
And-
watch British Bake Off?
I do. All right. I have. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not currently, but I have. Yes.
Gotcha.
So here's my clip. I won't play it all. It's just so you can get the idea of like her delivery.
Your
Like
Christmas bread.
she's just like doing her thing, you know.
I didn't think you'd have time to make it this year. With the move and the contest.
It has been your favorite since you were a child, Carson. I have never sold it in the bakery. It is only for you. Of course, I took time to make it.
No one can back time of you. All those Christmas mornings in my snowsuit with Dad going tobogganing.
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. I would bundle you up to go outside. You weren't halfway down the sidewalk before you turned around and come out, I gotta use the bathroom.
Dad was so patient.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, she's just like doing that thing.
She just.
Like,
Question. Is
got that
tobogganing
voice.
the same thing as sledding?
yes, it is. A toboggan is a sled.
It kind of is.
Who says toboggan? Like, I've never
Toboggan.
really...
So a toboggan is like you get into it. You get it. It's like a what's the fucking those like
bobsled.
cars? It's a bobsled.
It's a bobsled.
It's different. So a sled is just like something that's slick that you sit on and you go down the snow. Like a toboggan is like
A boat?
basically, yeah, like a snow boat.
Okay.
but a sled.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
All
everyone
right.
could see my perplexed face right
Yeah.
now.
I guess you're just going to have to go and do it.
You're just
Oh,
gonna have
God.
to go tobogganing.
There you go.
Here we go. It's a date.
So-
Lifetime on
There we go.
sports.
We're going.
We're on our day 1/cookie 1 for the contest. It is
Day 1, cookie 1.
What type of cookie is the first day?
Gingerbread.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gingerbread. And we get like them all going to the store. They're like grabbing, food, the stuff they need to make the cookies. And I'm like, oh my God, is this really like Top Chef? Like, I'm so
Yeah.
happy right now. I needed some reality TV in my Christmas movies,
Yeah.
And then they're like baking and everything, and it's just so relaxing to watch them. There's no flower fight happening because there's no romance yet.
That's fair.
And Holly forgets the eggs, and she's like, "Oh no, I forgot the eggs."
Forgot the eggs?
But she
Okay.
didn't even realize she forgot the eggs. Did
No, well, I don't know. I think she's just like, "Oh, I don't have eggs," and then the guy, what's his name, Brian?
Brad.
Brad. He's next. to
Brian's
her.
my husband,
I know.
Patrick.
Oh, sorry. Wrong white guy. Brad is.
No, it's the second like tall white guy, Brian, tall white guy, and then the most tall white guy, Brad.
Got
yes,
it.
yes.
Got it.
Who likes turtlenecks?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He is next to her, and he's like, "That's not going to turn out well." But somehow they miraculously do. Probably it's the magic that she put in.
Oh yeah, the magic but she didn't forget the magic. She
No,
forgot the
she
eggs.
didn't forget. She forgot eggs. Put in the magic.
Put in the magic. And
Brad put in
replaced
the
it.
magic by putting in the eggs.
Oh, okay.
He put in the egg. She wasn't looking.
But she
We find that out later.
Did some witchcraft
Mm-hmm.
on him to put eggs in there.
Yes.
Got it.
I love it.
So we get the scoring or whatever, and Brad and Holly are both safe, but they actually eliminate someone every time. So there's also that.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So they
And
like
the first person eliminated is the person who asked what the magic was.
right, and it's like, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. Get out of here.
Get
dude.
outta here.
If you don't know what magic is, then you can fuck yourself.
But they give them a basket of cookies, which I thought is very nice.
That's nice.
It's probably the cookies they made.
Yeah. Here's your shitty cookies back.
Bye. So Holly goes to scope out the competition with her sister. Her sister's name is Caroline. I wrote that down. I don't know if it matters. Of course, we have Brad, and they're like at the inn or whatever. You know what I mean? They're like
Yeah.
going to like see what he makes.
Yes.
And Caroline's like, "Oh, that guy's pretty cute. You should probably date him." And she's like, "No, we're here to scope out the competition. Just be quiet and order a pastry." And so they do.
Smart.
And, I think that Holly is just kind of like, she's up for this promotion. She's talking to her sister. This is for her to like get all her things out. So she's talking to her sister. They're up for the promotion. She doesn't really have a work-life balance type of thing going on. And
All work, all biz.
Exactly.
That's what
business.
happens when you go to New York and you don't stay in a small town in Maine.
All business. All business.
And then another girl comes, and her name's Loretta. In the movie, her name's Loretta. And she
You know
works.
what? I think that might have been why I was confused.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
there's
the
Loretta
real-
Devine, and then there's a character named Loretta.
Okay.
The character named Loretta used to work with Holly at the bakery. And she comes and she's like, "You know what? I'm glad you're here because I want to talk about Carson, how I have a crush on him."
Oh.
So we get the bee love story going too.
Since high school.
Because the sister's like, "I gotta go. Like, I don't know what you're doing, scoping out this thing with Brad. Just go for it. Just do it or don't do it."
Just do it or shut up.
She's not a really understanding sister. She's like, "You're wasting my time. I could be spending time with my real friends, not my
Next.
stupid family."
Next thing. Yep.
So day 2, cookie 2 is Drew.
I'm gonna say the next cookie would be just a plain old sugar cookie.
Sticky toffee pudding.
Oh, that's not a cookie,
It's not. It's not.
right?
Tell him what he's won, Patrick, from knowing the difference.
Right? You've won a car.
Yeah, I got a car. I'm gonna sell it because I don't want a car in Chicago.
No, you don't. So, I guess they like work on this little cookie. Like baking happens. Nothing really happens in this section, I don't think, except that Holly and Brad are safe, but they get put on cleaning duty because Loretta Devine is starting to see that they're connecting.
Oh, and she's like doing it on purpose. She's like, you guys are doing clean. You're gonna clean together. Yeah.
Yes. So they taste each other's dishes, and he's like, yours looks really pretty, but tastes terrible. And mine looks not so great, but it tastes awesome.
Tastes like an angel made it.
And they're like, maybe we should work together.
Oh. Can you do that?
I don't think so.
Not on the British Baking Show, you can't.
You can't.
Oh, they help each other out. Very British of them.
They're very polite. I think that's why it's so relaxing. It's not, there's no drama in it.
It's not relaxing for me. My husband and I make up drama.
Oh, I think it's so relaxing.
Oh, no. We were just like, did you see the way that she just moved her eyes to the right?
Oh.
Right? So Cookie,
You make up drama? It's great.
Cookie and day 3. They don't say what the cookie is.
Oh, okay.
So whatever.
I don't have to guess.
But Brad and Holly make their cookies together, and they're smiling, and they're falling in love, and all this
ding,
stuff.
ding-a-ling, ding-ding-ding-a-ling, do.
I don't think we have a flower fight.
We don't ever get one.
So, that's off the table for you. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of places to put a firefight. Just saying.
A firefight?
Flower fight.
Oh.
Yes, a flower fight.
Also, a lot of places would have a firefight.
So, to keep things interesting, Loretta Devine is like, you know what we're going to do? My Alaska boyfriend and I were Skyping the other day, and he said it would be fun to do a blind tasting for the finals. So that way you're not being biased. You're really only going on taste.
He was really hardcore. He was like insanely hardcore. Everything. He's like, it's not my mom's. It's not good. Nothing can beat my mom.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
This is why you're single, Carson.
Yeah. Carson's like the really mean judge. So they were like, we got to put him down a few pegs and
He's the
blindfold
Ramsay.
him.
He's the Gordon Ramsay.
Exactly. So Holly and Brad are getting closer, and her family invites him over for dinner. So they're there, and he gets to see them all be really mean to her. And they're like, isn't she just a stupid idiot? And he's like,
Look at this stupid bitch, huh?
Right?
Can you believe
she's
it?
our daughter. You agreed to go on a date with her? Ugh.
And that makes you a fucking idiot too, you piece of shit. Get out of my house. Just kidding.
Right?
Or am I?
But afterwards, they go to Brad's apartment, and he's like, would you like a Bailey's on ice? And she's like,
that was so like apparent.
Oh, yeah. She's like, yes, I would like a Bailey's on ice. And then he opens the bottle, and it's like, glug, glass, ice, Bailey's bottle down.
Bailey's.
Logo out.
And there's like a Bailey's commercial after that, too. I'm like, damn, Bailey's.
Good job, Bailey's.
I want some now.
Yes. Yeah. And then they make croissants.
Croissant.
And she's like, okay. Well, she's drunk, off of her one Bailey.
Off
she's
of her
like,
one Bailey.
Make a croissant oui, oui, bitch.
Just like
that's exactly that was her.
Bitch. She's like, go over here and fuck me. Come over here and fuck me.
Totally. So day 4, cookie 4. Someone else goes home, and everyone ran out of nutmeg. I don't know.
What was the cookie?
Oh yeah, there was
Should I guess?
Something with nutmeg.
Nutmeg because of Storm Megan.
Storm Megan.
So then Brad goes to his work and gets all the nutmeg for everyone. Like a good guy.
And we don't know what they were making.
What a great guy.
Something with nutmeg.
Yeah.
I don't know what cooking with nutmeg. Ginger snaps.
Probably.
I don't remember because they did make a big deal about how you can't make this cookie without nutmeg.
I don't know enough about cookies and baking, so I don't know.
See, here's the thing, y'all. You don't actually need the magic of Christmas to make anything when it comes to baking.
That's true.
You really need just nutmeg.
Yes.
Just nutmeg.
Or a recipe, like,
right.
Wait, so the storm somehow stopped their importing of nutmeg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. Okay.
So Holly and Brad are spending more time together. They're like cooking for each other every night now. They're like really starting to hang out all the time. And he opens up about being from Florida, and he was raised by his grandmother.
Because they were poor.
Yeah. So that's how he learned how to cook everything, because she cooked dinner every night from, whatever they could afford. And he never went to culinary school. He's just learned from his grandma. Okay.
Cool.
And
The
then
best teacher
Right?
you can have in baking.
It's true. Or any type of cooking. Probably.
Actually, no, sorry. The best teacher is culinary school. second best teacher.
Right. Culinary school will teach you all
Grandma.
that. So,
But what if your grandma went to culinary school?
Oh, then you don't need to go to culinary school.
there you go. Day 5, cookie 5. They don't say what it is.
This sounds like those Civil War notes, like day 5, cookie 5.
Day 5, dear Margaret.
Right.
Day 5, cookie 5.
Well, they just really are just trying to get to this ending of the movie. So they're like, okay, we're doing the blind tasting early. Holly and Brad are the final 2. Hooray. They're the final 2 now.
Oh.
And
There we go.
Holly's like excited to make the finals, but she gets a call from New York and she's been offered the job, of course. So she can work at the
business
magazine.
job.
Yeah, the magazine
Oh, was
job.
it specific?
It was.
It's
It was
for,
like
food
a
styling.
food styling,
Oh, okay.
whatever.
Magazine.
Cool.
And she just wants to make sure the bakery's left in good hands at this point. So she's like, Loretta
I'll throw it.
Devine, just like let Brad win and I'll throw it. And
Yeah.
Loretta Devine's like, that's not fair.
No, girl.
That is not how it works.
And then she's like, but you got to. And she's like, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. So
Yeah, she didn't have to say it. She could just throw it. Throw the
Or she
match.
could just bake her normal cookies.
her normal shitty cookies.
right,
That are
exactly,
shitty.
and then she'll be fine. So, Holly and Brad were on sugar cookies as the last cookie. They
I would have guessed that.
Doesn't Brad go too?
to
Brad also goes to her and is like,
Oh, does
whatever
he?
you do, you can't let me win. You can switch out my cookie for her cookie. She needs to have this bakery.
right because she loves the bakery so much.
You should swap out my cookie for her cookie. Just swap out her cookie for my cookie.
Yeah. So, Brad, they're like putting the cookies in the oven, and then the power goes out because of the storm.
Yeah,
You know, so
Fucking
like,
Megan,
oh
dude.
no, what are we gonna do? So they go to like the restaurant where the generators are, and they bake the cookies there.
Yes.
And
This happened earlier in the movie for me because of the edit, and I was just like, I don't know what's going.
oh my god, they edited that bad.
Oh, like the
sequence is off.
the visual
For like a second,
The
yeah.
visual was that, but
The visual was I'm going like,
but the audio is still going as normal.
That's
right?
hilarious.
Okay,
Yes.
God,
So
that's confusing. I'm surprised that you have even one note.
I have 5 pages of it.
yeah, I know. So Carson realizes that he doesn't really want to sell the bakery. No matter how the cookies are, he wants the bakery to keep going.
He
So-
found the magic of Christmas.
Yeah, he learned the magic of Christmas because
Yep.
the little Loretta girl, the one that works at the store, she like made him cookies, and he was like, "These are great. You can make good cookies too. It's not just my mom."
And she was like, well,
What?
your mom gave me her recipe.
Yeah,
So,
so
Oh no, I was just cooking your mom's shit. So.
right. And he's like, "Oh, I guess it really doesn't matter, and I'm being a jerk." So he declares a tie, and Holly and Brad are both going to have to run the bakery together now forever.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I know.
It's commitment.
And that's what happens.
I would sell my part to Brad. Hey, Brad, it's all yours, man.
Right.
You can buy me out. No problem.
So they sign papers right there. They sign the dotted line, and then they hire little Loretta, and Carson as like a financial planner. And they're like, "Okay, great. We have a business and we have a plan, and send Loretta Devine off to Alaska." That's it.
The end.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So there's no like.
Oh, they kiss.
Okay.
Sorry. You're like,
So
wait,
what happened?
But there was not like enough romance
There-
for me to be like,
no.
cool.
Ah, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one because you're like, hey, we got to run a business. We either got to be no on the kissies or super on
Right.
the kissies.
It wasn't like, "Oh my god, I'm so in love with you, and I've been waiting to tell you this whole time." It was just like, "Well, we're running a business. I guess we should kiss."
that's not the thing
Right?
you do.
I do have to say though, and I wrote a note about this, they did give really good relationship advice because the sister and her were both like having really bad relationships. And the sister basically said, when it comes to exes, to delete, block, and move on.
It's true.
That's true. You should.
I could take that advice.
Yeah.
Right?
I know it's like I always have the problem of being like, hey, yeah, nah, we're cool.
Yeah, but no.
I had
But
that problem
no.
for many
Yeah,
years.
delete and block. I think that's the big thing. I just mute everybody now because you can mute people. So I just mute people.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like,
I think
I'm
that's-
still friends
that's
with
a good-
them, but
That's a good start.
I don't see them and
Like,
they
I'll
don't know.
see it.
Unfollow and whatnot.
I'll
yeah.
see it eventually. Kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
I won't even see it because I muted them.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I would have to actively go out and find it and look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know so many people who are just like there and like looking at their phones for that person who is very clearly is
not
not
healthy.
into you.
Oh yeah. No,
Not
that's not
healthy.
healthy, guys.
Delete,
Not healthy.
block, move on. y'all.
Delete, block, move on. Delete, block, move on.
I guess I do that in my brain, so it doesn't matter. Like I was like, I don't.
That's because
Facebook.
you're a dude. You're like a dude.
I'm a dude.
I mean, I can't do that. I mean, we are both men, but you're a dude.
I'm a dude. That's right. That's
Oh,
true.
so not all men are dudes.
That's true.
Right. Not all men are dudes.
Not all men are dudes, and I guess I'm a dude.
You're a dude.
Okay.
And I'm a dudette.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck yeah, you are.
I don't know what I am. Anyway, so on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. What are you going to do to this movie, Sarah?
This one's hard.
I know. It's difficult.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Oh, shit. I'm going to put a cork in it, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
There was not enough romance, and when it did have moments of romance, it had like Mario Kart music behind it, so it just wasn't doing it for me.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty much, and be like,
Yep.
I was poor when I was young. Bing, bing, bing. You know, like it was just like,
Yeah.
And I guess you can only go on the sound, really.
Right, because you don't have
Because
the
visual,
film.
like you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is. It's like literally you just have to listen to it as like,
oh, there's
it's
a forehead
podcast.
going on right now,
Yeah.
and they're
Nice.
talking about it. Okay.
Yep.
Drew, how about you?
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna pour it up.
Okay.
Because I had fun talking about it.
Sure.
Yes.
And it was a little British Bake Off jams. Also, Michael Robinson, the director of this movie,
Yes.
he directed a couple of the Outer Limits
Oh, nice.
Oh.
episodes.
Cool.
So I love the Outer Limits.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna
Well,
go on that. And
that makes sense,
on
though.
what you guys are talking about and the British Bake Off, I'm just gonna combine those and pour it up.
Because if he's spoofing Great British Bake Off, he did a really good job.
He did. I did
so
enjoy that.
makes sense that the director is somebody who's notable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
don't know if
I
notable.
might
Well,
reconsider
or just
my-
someone who you enjoy
Yeah.
because they nailed that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I might have to pour it up now.
Let me say mine, and then we'll
I mean,
have
you
you do
can-
a do-over.
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
a do-over. We give you one do-over.
One do-over. So
That's not a rule. We don't. That's the first time.
So I am going to pour it up because it was written by a woman, which I liked the writing in
shit.
this.
Uh-huh.
I liked the shady family. I liked, just the general concept of it wasn't too complicated.
Yeah, that's true.
Therefore, it was comforting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these lately have been very, like, getting into the minutia of, like, legal stuff that I'm like, I don't care about
Yeah.
legal jargon or whatever.
Really?
And they go through it. Yes. I think it's mostly in Hallmark. They're over justifying things now to the point where it's like, what are you talking about? What's
Yeah.
going on? There's another one that we're going to cover with Kenny that gets into that
Okay.
world. So I like that this was simple, kept it straightforward. I knew I was getting my 6 days and then I was going to be over.
yeah.
I also liked the lead actress, Adelaide Kane. She was really good. I thought she was great. Adelaide Kane, whatever.
Although I'm probably wrong. too.
I don't care. But I thought she was good.
She's okay.
And for these type of movies, like I thought she fit well. I could see her like coming like from. She's probably done more stuff, but like coming from like theater
pretty,
and like.
She's
Yeah.
Australian.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
Australians are way better.
Great.
Actors.
Well, I think that she will become a thing.
She
Okay.
is a thing.
You know what I mean? Like she's not
You
gonna
mean like a Lifetime Hallmark thing?
No, she's not gonna stick in TV land. I think she's gonna be going up to something else.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm predicting that now. She's not. This is like her one and done TV movie. She's gonna be like Meghan Markle getting out of there,
Okay.
Marrying the Prince of
marrying the
Denmark
prince
or something.
Yeah, no, she'll like be in movies and stuff. But I think
I mean, she was in The Purge, so I mean.
there you go. Another scary movie I don't watch. Okay, have you rethought your opinion?
I think I did.
Okay, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna pour it up.
Yeah, gonna change it up.
I'm changing it up.
Okay.
You know,
It
you made
happens.
really great points about being written by a female, being straightforward. I don't know how talking about baking this entire time made me forget it was a thing about British Bake Off, which I was
Yeah.
excited about like 30 minutes ago when we started the podcast.
Right. It's when you really break down after a while it just gets repetitive. So I can see if you were watching this to be like, I'm gonna be surprised and wowed. But if you're like, I'm gonna watch this and fold my laundry, it's a pour it up.
Yeah, it's
The
it's a
rule
part
of watching Lifetime or Hallmark movies, I feel, is you shouldn't take it seriously and you should just go in for the ride.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
I mean,
So
that's kind of
I usually just enjoy them, so
Mm-hmm.
I try to be a little bit more Drew Patrick level when I'm here.
It's a little more lenient and
Especially at Christmas.
especially at Christmas. Because it's okay, you know what? It's not when we're recording this, when you're watching it, it's not Christmas.
You know, I should have just poured it up because this is the first ever movie that I watched for you guys that my husband watched with me. So
That's true.
that in and of itself should have been a thing.
Well,
Hey, you know what? You redacted. Well, that's not the right word, but you retracted.
retracted.
Not redacted.
You just have bleep outs.
Just just black fucking.
Yeah, the whole episode he's just beeping you out for no reason. Don't do
This
that.
is highly confidential impeachment
Right.
inquiry right here.
This is
All
an
right, all
alien
right.
cover up.
That wraps up our conversation about whatever this movie was called. Let's do a Candace.
Yeah.
What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. Okay, what you say, Candace Cameron Bure.
What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
You just inspired me to do my own Instagram story here.
Oh, good. Well, we watch Candace's Instagram and we talk about it. And, maybe there's a podcast where they watch Sara Carranza's Instagram when they talk about it. You
There
never
probably
know.
is. There
You
probably
never
is.
know.
If there is, let us know.
I'm only interested in these last 3 months, so don't do it any other time of the year. I'm bored.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, surprise, we're doing a bait and switch. We're not doing Candace Instagram today. We're doing...
You lied to me.
You lying piece of shit.
I
Yes.
wouldn't go that far, but okay.
I was listening
so
to interview with the Hollywood Reporter. They have a it's TV's top 5 podcast, and they had the CEO of Hallmark on the podcast. Ooh. And they're both Jewish. One of them's queer, and they were going hard on him, and I was like, this is me if I had a Hallmark person on my
And if
podcast.
you were Jewish,
Oh, right, I'm not Jewish, but I mean, I would advocate for the Jews because I'm a marginalized person, so I would
Yes.
advocate for other marginalized people. But it was so interesting to hear, and I just want you to hear, listen to the full interview if you are so inclined. But I'm
I'm
going to play a
inclined.
little bit here, and you can see kind of the dynamic, and it gets awkward, and we'll talk about it. Okay?
Yeah.
I love awkward.
Oh,
I
we
live in awkward.
That's where I live. That's where I live, right in there.
Okay, I think I need to unmute
You're not
this. There
using
we
the
go.
Hanukkah brand, such as it is in either case. Was that something anyone considered, or do you want to kind of keep it ambiguous or vague?
That's a fair question and a good question. I think it's hard if we start to slice up the pie, so to speak, and make movies based off of specific holidays. So if we were to look at Kwanzaa, for example, or, other religions and how they celebrate the holidays, it's a little bit more difficult because we don't look at Christmas from a religious point of view. It's more a seasonal celebration. So, we're very focused on that joy and aspect that the Christmas season brings as a device to utilize toward romance or toward relationships. And I think once you start to slice it more finely within individual religions, it's a little bit tougher to necessarily tell that story in a way that doesn't involve religion. And we always want to stay clear of religion or controversy.
But you guys have been very directly addressing Christmas forever by name. I mean, and
Like it's in the name of your programming block.
so I guess my question is, if you can have the fun of It's Christmas Carol, which remains one of the all-time great pun movie titles,
Christmas,
where is
Carol.
the comparable fun involving actually being specifically either
Christmas
Kwanzaa
Carol?
affiliated or Hanukkah affiliated or non-Christmas affiliated?
I think that at the end of the day, in terms of attracting the broadest audience and the most universal term, that is both secular. I mean, I think Christmas has become
Okay, you
almost
get
a
the idea.
secular type
Yeah.
of holiday.
In specificity,
more than
there is inclusivity.
Right.
True. Here's the thing though. This is where I'll tip my hat a little bit to him on this point, where Christmas is less. It's a time of the year rather than an actual religious thing. Like it isn't it's never been. I've always been like Christmas, yes, and we've never celebrated Christmas in my family. It's been fucking Santa Claus and presents and magic and fun times.
Honest
Right.
question, though.
Right.
How
yes.
much of that is also from the fact that you grew up in a society that upheld Christmas as the holiday?
I mean, all of it, obviously.
So then how do we make it equitable for Judaism or even Kwanzaa, which isn't religion affiliated, if we don't give the opportunity for those stories to be told?
No, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying is his point was saying that if we do, he's saying because they're trying to reach just the most people, and as a business sense, I'll say this. It's like Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Most people will understand that and get it, and even people who do not celebrate Christmas as a religious holiday will be like, it's Christmas time.
But
Well, if we want to talk... Sorry, Patrick.
yeah, no, I was just going to say Hallmark is at the end of the day, they're a card brand. So they are approaching things from Valentine's Day, or whatever the holiday is.
Right.
But they also capitalize on the faith-based stuff as well. I mean, they have a Hallmark channel where the whole season's called the Christmas Miracle or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
I don't know if miracle is just a Christian term.
No.
Or theory,
It's
but it is heavily associated with that, where a Christian would be like, yes, this is speaking to my religion. You know what I mean?
Sure,
So
yeah.
you can interpret it that way.
Absolutely.
And I do have to say that most of my daytime is arguing about the importance of diversifying and having an equitable and inclusive society in the arts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's just put it out there. No one is diversifying their businesses out of the goodness of their hearts.
No.
They're
Oh, yeah,
diversifying
no.
their programming for their dollars.
That's what I'm
Now, if
trying
you want
to say.
if you want to
Yeah.
break down the dollars, African Americans make up $1.3 trillion of spending money in the U.S. economy.
Yep.
Kwanzaa is a celebration of being African American. I can butcher the actual meaning of it.
Sure.
But that's $1.3 trillion you're not tapping into.
Also, you don't know how to speak about Kwanzaa because it's not something that's in mainstream
Exactly.
culture. Anybody can talk about Christmas and Santa Claus and Rudolph and all that shit
Because it's ingrained.
because it's ingrained in the society.
Right, yeah.
And
And that's
Hallmark
what-
is capitalizing on that.
That's what I was saying. It's and I think what hit to his point that he was saying was even being him being a Jewish man being no one gives a fuck about basically he was saying the masses don't give a fuck about my holiday. I celebrate it because I'm Jewish, but no, I know other Jews aren't going to be like, ooh, look at, here we go.
But here's
I'm going to
the
watch
thing.
this.
How many
thing."
people have tried it before?
You know what? You're right. I don't know. That's what but the only thing is I'm getting to his point where
I
I'm
get
just
it.
as a CEO of
Sure.
Hallmark, I get it. As a person, like as a
No,
normal
but like
person,
even as a
I'm
CEO,
like, yeah, that's problematic. I
he
guess.
has an completely untapped audience that doesn't go to watch Hallmark movies
What
or
could it
Lifetime movies.
hurt?
That's true.
What
That's
could
true.
it hurt?
Yeah, that is true.
And with certain demographics moving into certain ways, it would only make sense that you'd try to diversify because that's where the dollars are going.
yeah, no, I agree.
And it's something a lot of companies are struggling with, even with like holiday flex time. Like, everyone gets off for Christmas, the week of Christmas or whatever, like that time, unless you're in retail, of course, and stuff like that.
Yeah, then that's
But, how do you make that more inclusive where it's not focused on Christmas, the holiday, it's focused on the season of all the other things happening at the same time.
right.
Well,
it's like when back in the heyday, the way back machine that we go into of like when everyone decided that all the holidays should just happen at one time.
right.
Like, so this is the
Capitalism.
same. This is the same sort of thing. Well, I mean, like even like Roman time, like back in like Roman times, it was like,
Well,
okay,
that was
all right, everyone.
colonization. We can go into a whole nother podcast
Oh,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about colonizing.
I mean, it goes deep, and
All right,
we are not
so you
equipped
guys
to
have this religion.
Yeah.
You can we just consolidate, please, into one time so we all can celebrate whatever the fuck we want to celebrate?
The point I'm trying to make is that during the holidays, we do on this podcast talk about Christmas a lot, and we don't really have the opportunity to address any other things happening because the society is not really there. And it's something that everyone needs to just kind of like think about during the holiday season. Like, we all have these traditions and stuff going on. There are lots of other traditions that I would love to know about and like be like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, me too.
And I think having that through a lens of a Hallmark, it's like, holidays for dummies. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think
I'd
that would
like,
be great.
That'd be great.
Oh,
I'd love to learn
absolutely love that. I think you're right. I'm speaking from their point of view, they're like their risk of doing something. They have like all that shit, like,
all the mathematics.
they're just like the
they know
risk
it all.
is not. It's too risky.
But
whatever,
the thing is, it's
but,
not
like,
even that because like I went to a marketing conference and they were talking about they know everyone who watches everything from the moment that they switch it off, even if it's in the middle of the thing, to that they're this color, this this
Age,
religion, this
only if they're
age.
streaming it. They don't know that if they're
Well,
just
even with the
watching it
boxes.
on
even
TV.
with the cable boxes, they know.
They said that.
Oh, they do.
Well, because it's
Okay.
DVR, so it's all digitally.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So-
Maybe the person with the antenna. The person that still has the antenna and has the 5 channels.
Yeah, you
But,
don't
like,
know that. You don't know.
If
Maybe
you
they're
know
off
it-
the grid.
If you know
Yeah.
your audience is an X type, right, and it's all middle-aged Christian women from who knows where,
Right.
you're definitely losing a lot of dollars at the table too by not trying to reach out to
Yeah.
other people.
Right.
Exactly.
No, I agree. They're
It
just not.
is-
They're just not risking it enough. And I think honestly, I think Lifetime is the one that will do that shit first. Like Lifetime will do that. Hallmark,
Well,
is like,
'cause-
they're like.
In the interview, Lindsay, the female who we didn't even hear talking on the podcast, she's like, I'm a queer person. Are you ever going to have queer love interests? And he was just kind of like,
Look,
we're a family friendly network. And
The
she's
society's
like, well,
gotta
why
change.
isn't that
Even
family?
in telenovelas now on like Univision, there are queer romantic leads now.
Well,
even
yeah.
on Univision, man.
Well, and her point was like, I watch these with my family, and I would love to see myself represented in that, in the
Yeah.
same universe, in the
And
same
not in
style.
an unspoken way
No.
where it's maybe
Right.
I would say this is like the lack of knowledge, like the lack of people, like them say they set what is family friendly,
Yes.
and they don't understand that they're the ones that are actually setting that tone. They're so huge. If they slowly involve
Right.
that, they actually could change like that kind
You
of
know what,
society.
listeners? If you like the ideas you hear on Lifetime Uncorked, sponsor Drew and Patrick so they can make their own Christmas network.
There you go.
Of
We will-
awesome, inclusive
we would
Christmas
do
Exclusive
stories.
that.
Christmas, and I would have to hire a lot of people because me and Drew are both like not the most inclusive dynamic.
No,
You know,
no, we're
I
both.
got like the white boy over here, and I'm half Ecuadorian.
Although I would say my beard gets people to do things.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
We do not need to incite another Me Too movement.
I know.
Okay?
There we go. All right.
Not
all right.
against their will. They just go, that beard, though. And they'll be like, okay.
Okay. So
Hey, would you mind getting me a coffee? How could I not with that beard?
Oh, boy.
And that's
scene.
it.
Okay.
Boom.
So, yes. During the holidays, think about inclusivity and think about learning something different about another culture or another tradition that you might not be aware of. How about that? That's
Boom.
a fun goal for the
I
holidays.
feel like that
And
was
let's get
perfect
rid
for
of all
like
of religion.
sleigh bells. You should have had sleigh
yeah.
bells behind that.
I'll put it in.
Yeah, and then I'm like looking up at the sky. I'm like, a shooting star. Anyways,
Or is it Santa Claus?
there you go.
You never know.
So I think it's pluggy time. I think we've talked about this long enough. Sarah, anything to plug on the pluggy time of the podcast?
Yeah. So I'm directing a one-man show. I mentioned it already. It's called Another Medea, where one man becomes the man who kills his kids.
Yeah. Kill the kids, man. You don't need them.
It's, the anti-Christmas story taking place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a break from Christmas.
need a break from
sometimes
Christmas.
too much joy,
Like going to the Bahamas for a wedding. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, show off.
Just saying. Can't wait.
Just saying. Goo-goo.
Drew, how about you?
You can find me at Drew with Pants on Instagram. I'm gonna get married in the Bahamas.
Woo!
You're probably listening to this right now while I'm already doing
Get
that.
your bikinis
Maybe.
ready.
Yeah. Well, we're going.
Oh,
Me and Drew are going to get
we're-
our bikinis ready.
We're getting our manzillas.
The Manzillions.
Boom.
Yes. I can't wait to see the pictures.
I like to call them manzillas. I don't know why.
Well, that's basically how it feels.
I do not want any pictures of banana hammocks, okay?
You don't, or you
might-
do?
I do.
Oh, you do.
I'm like, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Look, we'll have pictures of that.
And I will be scarred for life.
Oh boy.
Oh, you'll be fine.
All right. Did you plug the limbos yet?
Yeah, the Limbos. I'm in a band. We have
Okay.
the Limbos. We play music. We're in a band.
Not to be confused with the Limboos.
Not
No.
be confused with Limbos, but they're also awesome. So either way.
Either way.
Either way.
Oh, well, thank you both for being here, and thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies, so you don't have to, but if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us. I think I said that. I don't know. Whatever. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.